Let's see.
Did you know that according to a study done by the CDC, adults and adolescents who either smoke, don't get enough sleep, don't exercise, eat fast food often, and who do not eat fruit regularly are more likely to frequently consume sugar-sweetened beverages? This isn't good because sugar-sweetened beverages already affect your brain because people who consume them have poor memory, smaller brain volume, and are 3 times more likely to have a stroke and develop dementia. Well, that can all be changed if a tax on sugary drinks were placed. Then we could live in a much healthier country. Today, I'm going to talk about why people think a tax on sugar-sweetened beverages is a negative thing. My goal today is to show you why the United States Department of Health and Human Services needs to impose a 30-cent tax on all sugar beverages with 20 grams of sugar or more. I will state a few reasons as to why people might be opposed to implementing a tax on sugar-sweetened beverages. Which brings me to my first point. Is it too much money? Some people might argue that an extra 30 cents for sugar-sweetened beverages is too much. To some, this may be a little much for a tax, considering that worse products are taxed at a lower price. In 2014, Mexico enforced a 1 peso per liter excise tax on sugar-sweetened beverages. That's about 5 cents in US currency. And Mexico has since seen about a 6% reduction in the consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages, according to the National Institute of the Public Health of Mexico. This claim further enhances my point that by enforcing a tax, a 30-cent tax will get people to not want to pay for them and cause a reduction in the consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages. Which is why the United States Department of Health and Human Services should impose a 30-cent tax on all sugar beverages in America with 20 grams of sugar or more. Another reason is that others might say that sugar-sweetened beverages give them an energy boost. Some people might think they get energy from caffeinated sugar beverages, but in reality, they actually don't do anything for you. Researchers for runnersworld.com did a study that proved that sugar-sweetened beverages and sugary foods, do not actually improve mood or fatigue. In fact, they found that consuming them actually increases your energy slump. That just goes to show that this claim further proves my point that sugar-sweetened beverages are just empty calories and have no value in your diet and should not be consumed. It also proves why the United States Department of Health and Human Services should impose a 30-cent tax on all sugar-sweetened beverages with 20 grams of sugar or more. And finally, reason number 3. You have the skeptics, the people who think about if it would even make a difference if a tax were placed. I would agree with the fact that it's definitely something to think about because it would be a drastic change if it was successfully implemented in the United States. The obesity action community assured that raising prices on sugar-sweetened beverages can actually reduce the consumption of them. Because if we don't, then they are only going to continue to rise. And by the year 2030, the United States, excluding Colorado, is expected to have, on average, a 50% to 60% obesity rate. And those added sugars in beverages are the leading cause for the rising obesity rates in America. And the way to reduce those numbers by at least 20% is by placing a tax on them so that they cost more and people won't want to pay extra for it. This is another statement as to why the United States Department of Health and Human Services should impose a 30-cent tax on all sugar beverages in America with 20 grams of sugar or more. Now today, I talked about the reasons why some people might be opposed to implementing a tax on sugar-sweetened beverages, and I also talked about why implementing a tax is a positive thing instead of a negative. I believe I have achieved my goal of showing you a few reasons why the United States Department of Health and Human Services should impose a 30-cent tax on all sugar beverages in America with 20 grams of sugar or more. And there are some people out there who don't think that placing a tax on sugar-sweetened beverages will have any effect, but I firmly believe that it will make a big difference. especially in the adults and adolescents who either smoke, don't get enough sleep, don't exercise, eat fast food often, and who do not eat fruit regularly, because they are the ones who are more likely to frequently consume sugar-sweetened beverages. So I'll ask you this: are you ready to put an end to the rising obesity rates and live in a much healthier country?
Let's see.